Hello, my name is George Gossage, and it's with great pleasure that I get a chance to share with you information about a remarkable water technology out of Japan. It's a technology that's had a profound effect on millions and millions of people over in Japan, and we now have the good fortune to share in that technology here in North America. 9 months ago, a very dear friend of mine out of California introduced me to a water called Kangen water, and it's a water that I had never heard about. But I was fascinated with the testimonials and the stories that I was hearing coming out of Japan and out of Southern California. And my interest in the beginning was solely as an end user. I wanted to find out if this Kangen water would help me with my back condition. You see, when I was 18 years old, I actually broke my lower back. I broke my L4 and L5 playing basketball. And over the course of 27 years, I have developed a horrendous arthritic condition in my back. It was so bad that my doctors often commented that if he didn't know that that MRI belonged to me, he'd swear that it belonged to a 70-year-old man. That's how bad that disc degeneration had developed for me over the course of 27 years. Now, after doing 3 days of exhaustive due diligence on this technology, I decided to buy a product. I decided to invest in one of these machines, and I started to super hydrate my body with this water. And here's what happened with me. 7 days from the time that I started to drink this water, I woke up and 90% of all that stiffness, that soreness, that aggravation, and that pain that I had been living with for 27 years was gone. And needless to say, I got very, very excited. And unless you've had lower back pain, you probably can't identify with what I'm saying. But anybody in chronic pain, I think, can relate to that statement. So for me, it's been a life-changing experience. As a matter of fact, I'm doing things right now that I've not done in over 25 years. I feel better than I ever have had as an adult. And as a side note, as a result of drinking this water, I've actually lost over 20 pounds of body weight, 4 inches off my waist, and I actually weigh now what I weighed in high school. So through that experience with this Kangen water, I'm going to share with you a little information about our company. And the reason I'm standing here before you is because this product or this water has changed my life in every way, shape, and form. And I got very, very excited about it. And in my opinion, this is a technology or a water that the world needs to know about. So what we're going to do here over the next few minutes is I'm going to take you through a little history about our company. You're going to get a chance to understand where we come from. And you know that old saying, talk is cheap. So what we're going to be able to do is we're going to take you into a live demonstration where you can see with your very own eyes some of the effects that this water can have on you and your family. So that being said, our company tagline is change your water, change your life. And if you think about it, we all understand the importance of drinking water. The only question is what kind of waters, is it that we're drinking? And even the waters that we've been led to believe are good for us, you're going to find to be the contrary. Now, this Kangen water that we're going to talk about, that's a Japanese word. Kangen means return to origin or reduction, if you will. And although Kangen water is relatively new to North America, it has a huge history in Japan that actually dates back to the mid-60s, where the Japanese Ministry of Health and Welfare approved this water for a variety of different ailments. Now, it's not uncommon to find this technology on a much larger commercial application, literally through dozens and dozens of hospitals and medical centers, and we're going to share with you information about our residential model. Now, the name of our company is Enagic. We formed in 1974, so as we speak, we're 32 years old, and what's awesome about this whole idea is the fact that we control the entire process from A to Z. What I mean by that is not only do we do the research and the development, we do the design, we do the manufacture, and we actually control the distribution all the way to the end user. Now, this technology that you're going to learn about tonight is actually approved and sold as a medical device in Japan, and again, it's approved and sold as such by the Japanese Ministry of Labor and Welfare. We're also members of the DSA, which is the Direct Sellers Association, and that's your governing body of anyone that's who's who in the direct sales arena. We're a debt-free company, and last year, through word-of-mouth referrals, we generated over $250 million, or better than $250 million in sales. Now, what you're looking at here may not mean a whole lot to us here in North America, but in Japan, you're looking at an endorsement by the most prestigious nonprofit organization of its kind, known as the Japanese Association of Preventative Medicine for Adult Diseases. And what's interesting here is that this organization only endorses one product per industry. What you're going to learn about tonight is the only water-related product that this a nonprofit organization has ever endorsed. Now, when you compare cultures, when you understand how Japanese look at healthcare versus how we look at it here in North America, it's a whole different mindset. In Japan, they're very much into prevention. They're not interested in putting Band-Aids on wounds. They want to find out what the underlying causes of those diseases or those conditions are and deal with them head on. Whereas here in America, we've been conditioned to treat symptoms. I mean, this is a fascinating read by Ray Moynihan. It's entitled Selling Sickness, and it's basically going to talk about how the world's biggest pharmaceutical companies are looking to turn us all into patients. And we all know, guys, we've been conditioned to treat symptoms here. If my head hurts, then I know to reach for the Tylenol or the Motrin. If my stomach hurts, now the latest phenom is this, or the latest craze is the purple pill. And all of those do nothing more than treat symptoms instead of addressing where that situation or where that problem is dealing with. And just a few short months ago on the cover of Forbes magazine, look at the title here, Pushing Pills, How Big Pharma Got Addicted to Marketing. And it talked about the fact that drug firms have tripled the ranks of salespeople to 100,000. That's one seller for every 9 doctors. Now, what you're looking at here is just some footage in terms of what's going on in Japan. Literally 3-4 times a week, thousands of people are coming out to learn about the remarkable effects and benefits that Kangen water has to offer. Now, in 2003, we actually started our expansion into the United States. Our corporate U.S. headquarters are based in Southern California. We've also got offices in New York, Illinois, and Hawaii. We've opened up Canada a few short months ago, and we've got very aggressive international expansion plans to the tune of 20-some-odd countries here over the next 2 to 3 years. Now, as you're doing your due diligence and as you understand what it is that this water has to offer, Kangen water has 3 very unique characteristics that no other water in the world has: antioxidant, microclustering, and alkalizing. And we're going to talk on each of those properties here just momentarily. Now, if you understand what happens when you cut an apple in half, 20, 30 minutes later, that apple will start to brown. That's a process called oxidation. And you see that very same process of oxidizing is going on inside of us, which is why we need antioxidants to slow that oxidation process down. And you see, it's that oxidation that's going to wreak havoc on your cellular DNA. It's that oxidation that's going to be responsible for the aches and the pains and the arthritis that I had, or the premature aging, or the sickness or the disease, or ultimately our demise. And again, the key is we need to slow that oxidation process down, which is why any healthcare practitioner on the holistic side or any health food store is going to be touting the advantages of antioxidants. And that's one of the interesting characteristics of Kangen water. It has amazing antioxidant properties. As a matter of fact, when you drink Kangen water, it has a negative charge, and the free radicals, or the oxidants that are inside of our body, have a positive charge. So think of this water as a scavenger water, if you will. The more of the water that you drink, the more of the free radicals it's going to bind to and enable it for you to flush it right out of your system. Now, this is an interesting slide. We're going to talk about something called oxidation reduction potential, okay? And what that simply means is that all liquids that we put in our body either have a positive oxidation reduction potential value or a negative. And the long and the short of it is the higher that positive ORP value is, the more oxidizing effect that liquid will have on your body. And as you can see from our chart here, soda ranks at the top of that list. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, you're going to see Kangen water, and Kangen water is the only water out there that has a negative oxidation reduction potential value, and the higher that negative ORP, the more beneficial that liquid is.